Hey guys, this is Big Dave. Thank you so much for turning into another episode of the Comic Book Guys. Today we got a show of talking about Carnage and possibly a few other characters connected to Carnage. If you like this show, please tune into Sunday Night Madness and Criminal Fix, and we will be back in a few minutes. Stick around. Okay, so I just got done reading the Absolute Carnage series, and it's pretty wild.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So, the way it started out with a cult that followed Null. Spoilers for anyone who wants to read this for themselves.
King in Black.
The King in Black. A cult that followed Null's teachings and wanted to revive him. So, it started off showing the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. finding Null's symbiote, the dragon.
The sword?
I believe his symbiote, his suit, is takes many forms, mainly as a sword when he's in combat, but other times it shows it as a dragon when it's on its own.
Really?
Yeah. Because in the first issue that goes into the Absolute Carnage, they show it encased in ice.
Interesting.
And Fury was trying to run experiments on it and see if he could make symbiote soldiers for the Vietnam War.
Did he not read what happened when the government tried to do that in the first place?
Yeah, with what
Nick Fury needs to pick up a fucking comic book.
Right. That's not exactly, it never works out. Ever. They have these soldiers that volunteer to take up these symbiotes to be super soldiers. Just
Sure.
another crack at the Captain America super serum.
Right.
And they have these soldiers get bonded with parts of the dragon symbiote. And then finally, in the Vietnam War, near the end of it, some of these soldiers start just going insane and crazy.
Oh, so this is way back in the day then.
Yeah. And the only person, as this is happening, the only person Fury can think of to call out and see if he can deal with them is Wolverine.
Okay.
So I guess this was Wolverine's first interaction with the symbiotes.
Okay.
Is how they were trying to write this into the story.
Sure.
And it ends with Wolverine coming to Vietnam with one of the soldiers who lost his symbiote. It jumped off because it was afraid of something.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember exactly what it was that it was afraid of, or if it just fell asleep or something, but he was still bonded with it in a way. They found the soldiers, realized what was going on, and they combined together and went berserk.
Oh.
Tried to kill them.
Interesting.
Wolverine didn't die. Fucking healing factor always comes in clutch there.
Sure, yeah.
So, going back to the present, taking place right after Carnage USA. I forget the name of the town it was, but Carnage was taking control of everybody there. He was splitting off pieces of his symbiote to take over the minds of the citizens and a few of the heroes that came to stop him.
Okay.
And one of the powerhouses, I believe it was Captain Marvel. I could be wrong, though. I don't remember who it was, but someone took him into space and left him in the atmosphere. The freezing coldness of darkness froze him over and just left him there to die.
Really?
I guess but the way it started off with Carnage coming back was he got close to the Earth's atmosphere again. He got sucked into the gravity and just came crash landing onto the ground.
Huh.
Burning up in the Earth's atmosphere, he's completely lost all of his skin, and he's actually lost his legs.
Are you talking about
Cletus Cassidy.
Cletus? Okay.
Yeah. So they capture him, and they're taking him to a government prison in a massive capsule that is somehow keeping him alive.
As you do.
because the Carnage symbiote was actually mostly keeping him awake.
Right.
So as they're transporting him, the cult steps in and kidnaps it, or they kill a lot of the government soldiers that were transporting it, and they take it for themselves.
The symbiote?
The Cletus Cassidy in this capsule.
Oh, okay, so it was Cletus Cassidy that actually got...
With it, and his Carnage symbiote was keeping him alive.
Okay.
He was barely conscious, but he was still alive.
Okay.
So they took him... they took the capsule and brought it back to their safe house.
Sure.
So as they capture him and bring him back, they're explaining, like, if we bond Cletus Cassidy to the dragon symbiote for Null, this will be our step forward into reawakening Null and reclaiming the world.
Okay.
So these cultists have gone crazy. They've
Sure.
lost it.
As cultists
I can't think
tend
of
to do.
Then again, I can't think of a sane cult.
That's what I said. As cults tend to do.
Yeah. So they bond the dragon symbiote to Cletus. And Cletus starts to break out. He's pounding away at the doors, and when he pops out, his symbiote's gone full black. It's got the dragon symbol on his chest that's made entirely red. It looks like Venom, but it's got a little swirl at the bottom for the tail.
Sure.
And they're all chanting, like, yes, together we will take it, together. And he's like, shut up. Like, he's come completely back. Cletus is like, I don't know what that Null guy was talking about, but I need to talk to him again. And the leader of the cult is like, well, if you grab these codexes from the previous people who have had a symbiote on them, you will be able to gain all of their power and revive Null. He's like, okay, so how do I do that? And they're like, well, it's attached on their spinal cord. And he's like, oh, perfect. And immediately grabs her, kills her, and just eats her spine. Like, he didn't give her a second to explain or anything.
Right.
Just immediately kills her, takes her spine, eats it, and he's like, all right, I need more. And he turns to a wall, and it's just covered in pictures of everyone who has actually bonded to the Venom symbiote.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I thought was kind of funny about it, is Carnage has barely bonded to a few people.
Yeah.
He's left Cletus and bonded with few, but only a couple, like Ben Reilly, Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
He actually bonded with the Silver Surfer at one point.
He bonded with Mary. Well, I don't know if this ever actually happened in the comic books, but I do know that in the Spider-Man cartoon, he bonded with Mary Jane.
Yeah, creating their version of
Carnage Queen.
Yeah, or I think she took up the name Spider-Woman at some point. I think that was their version of it.
She did take up Spider-Woman at some point, but I didn't know. Like, again, It's been a little while since I've actually picked up a Spider-Man comic book, so I mean, I'm basing my my experience on that with the old Spider-Man cartoon.
Right.
I'll tell you my favorite Carnage series. I couldn't begin to tell you the name of it. You'll probably know actually, but the one where Carnage basically decided, you know what? I think I'm going to be a good guy. He wasn't really a good guy.
No.
He just thought he was doing the right thing by slaughtering a bunch of people.
Right.
They were all bad guys, but he still slaughtered a whole bunch of people. And it was hilarious. Not the slaughter, but like
the thought process leading
up to it, the fact that Carnage honestly thought that he was the hero, the dialogue in there, it was funny.
Right.
Again, the slaughter of an entire town wasn't so enjoyable and funny, but he enjoyed it, so you know. It's
like with Carnage, the whole Cletus mindset is very funny because his whole thing is to just murder people.
Right.
And he doesn't care about consequences. He doesn't care who it is. Mm-hmm. There's several points in comics they're like, why are you doing this? He's like, oh, that's simple. It's because I can.
Right. Well, I find it funny that you got this, what you were talking about. You've got this crazy cult.
Right.
Just absolutely insane. We're going to bring back Null. What good is that going to do you?
Right. Like, and your first option of bringing Null back is to
go with
revive
something crazier than you guys.
Like, just revive a serial killer. That's fine.
That
sure. Makes so much sense.
Absolutely.
With
but I find it humorous. I didn't realize this until I did a lot of research on it.
Mm.
So, of the symbiotes, Venom was the first, right? No, I mean, not including Null.
Introducing symbiotes into the Marvel series, yes.
Okay. So, technically speaking, Carnage is Venom's child.
Yes.
Okay.
The Venom symbiote was unaware of it at the time, but he was pregnant, yes.
Yeah, he pooped a symbiote.
They reproduce asexually.
Right.
Yeah.
But after doing some research, apparently all of Venom's children, every time he reproduces or any other symbiote reproduces, it's stronger than its parentage.
Yes.
However, Null, the symbiote deity.
Yeah, the king.
Yeah. In that thought process, you would think that, like, me being a normal person could just walk up to him and punch him in the face and be done with it.
Right. Like, he seems like such a, like, with the thought process of what they originally had planned for him was every offspring of the symbiote gets stronger and stronger. With Null being the origin and the god deity, you'd think he'd just be a frail old man with that thought process.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's where I'm going with that. So
you just walk up and you don't even got to punch him. You could just flick him and he'd be down.
Oh, look, dust.
Oh, look, he just evaporated.
Venom dust. Neat.
Venom has had other children, like
oh yeah, no, all of the 5 that the government created way back in the day, Scream, Shriek, all of those other ones. I can't remember any of their names. Pretty much
Toxin?
all of them were, huh?
I think Toxin was one of them.
No, Toxin is a later on.
Oh, Toxin's Carnage's kid, actually.
Yeah, and like the main bad guy in the Venom movie.
Yeah. Riot.
Yes. He was one of the ones created by the government.
Right.
He was Venom's child, one of Venom's children. Because they basically took pieces of Venom off of Venom and created these symbiotes.
Right.
Which were stronger than Venom, sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because it literally only took Venom and Spider-Man to defeat them all. Well, that and their hosts.
Since they were taken off of Venom as pieces, they all had a specialty of Venoms that they were better at, but that was all they were good for.
Right.
So, and that, like...
because technically Venom didn't reproduce in that situation.
Right, they were just taken.
Correct.
Pieces of them were taken, and they just turned into their own things. And the reason like Venom was so crazy in the first place is because when he was originally introduced, it actually didn't bond to Spider-Man first. It bonded to Deadpool.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. They retconned it to where Deadpool was the very first person that Venom ever bonded to, and that's why he was nuts.
Right. And it was the whole reason he went psycho, and he was very... separation anxiety,
right?
Especially from Spider-Man, after realizing he was the perfect host.
Yes.
And the whole reason Deadpool didn't keep it was like, I think it was something along the lines of, I'm not a big fan of all black. It's like a little black here is fine, but
which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. That's why Venom's first offspring was red and black.
Yeah, it makes some sense. Yeah,
some sense. I mean, we're just hypothesis
spitballing here.
Yeah.
With the when it came to when Cletus was revived by that dragon symbiote, He just starts going on a rampage, hunting down all of those people that Venom has bonded to in the past.
Oh, there's another one, Rampage.
Oh yeah, Rampage.
Yeah, all of their names are really
Destructive.
unique, except for one. Anti-Venom.
Yeah, but the Anti-Venom was created to kill Venom. His name's there, right there.
He was created to kill all symbiotes.
That is also true. The symbiote to kill all symbiotes.
Well, it was more of a to cleanse the host of a symbiote.
Right.
But I do find it funny, like Flash Thompson, when he had the Venom symbiote, he became Agent Venom, not just Venom, just Agent Venom, and his suit was awesome.
Yeah.
It wasn't just this big hulking monster thing with this disgusting tongue.
Right.
It was an awesome suit, and
sleek, like just simple.
It looked like body armor, with a mask,
like a military grade body armor, full Kevlar.
Right, and it was. did Flash Thompson actually end up getting the Anti-Venom suit as well? Because there's an Agent Anti-Venom too.
I believe he did for a little while, because I think the first Anti-Venom was actually Harry Osborn.
Okay. Well, I know that
or that might be the cartoon. Yeah. I might be getting confused.
Well, Agent Venom is actually part of the was part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if they still kept that. And honestly, I like Marvel comics. I also like DC comics. I like all of the comics. We discussed this last week.
Right.
Or last time.
Right.
And
Close
the
enough.
one thing that I don't that I just there are so many continuities of all of them that it's really hard to keep straight. Like you could have a writer write an entire Carnage series where it's literally Carnage as the good guy. Everybody else is bad.
Right. They've done that a few times with other characters.
Right. Which honestly would be kind of cool if you think about it, because it would be I mean, even though you're not really retconning anything in that scenario, it's basically maybe how Carnage and Cletus think. Maybe they think they're the good guys. They're just trying to rid the world of poo.
Right. That actually goes into... They actually go into that in the Absolute Carnage for when the Cold is explaining why they're using Cletus. They explain that Cletus, when he was born, immediately died afterward. When he was born, his mother was in a insane asylum, gave birth to him, and the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck, and he suffocated.
Okay.
So he immediately died 11 minutes after his birth, but then he was revived.
Sure.
And then at some point he died again. And at that point, he's like, on the second, I don't remember the first time, but the second time I do. I went to hell, and I was in a cage, and everyone else around me was in their cages, and they didn't have, they were all wearing masks, and I hate that. So that's why he's so like crazy, is he wants to rid the world and rid them of their masks, and that's like a calling sign, is like he'll rip their face off. It's very gruesome and it's very like graphic, but
sure.
I guess it's if he's got a calling card, like that person's missing his face. Oh, it's Carnage around.
Right.
Oh, I'm scared.
So do you know how many people actually had the Carnage suit or symbiote?
Definitely not as many people as Venom did.
Oh well, no, of course not.
Venom is like I'm trying to think of a good way to phrase this without being so rude about it.
Venom is he's a symbiote hoe.
There you go. He bonded with so many people that it's not even funny. They actually had a whole comic series about all the Venom. All the people from alternate universes who kept the Venom symbiote coming together and fighting Anti-Venom.
Right.
But there was very few people who actually had the Carnage symbiote that bonded to it. And like that was just like Ben Reilly Spider-Man, the Silver Surfer, or creating a Surfer Cosmic.
Mm-hmm.
or no,
Carnage Cosmic.
Carnage Cosmic. Thank you. He bonded with Green Goblin recently.
Red Goblin.
Red Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was looking at that.
Oh.
That is a really cool art style.
So notable aliases for Carnage here are Spider Carnage,
Yeah, that was Ben Riley,
Carnage Cosmic,
Silver Surfer.
Superior Carnage, which is the one that I was talking about. The Superior Carnage series is the one where he
Try to make himself a good guy.
tried to be a good guy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He didn't try real hard, but he tried.
A for effort.
Yeah, right. Red Goblin,
Yeah.
the Red Slayer.
Red Slayer.
I don't know. And
Venom bonded with Punisher. I don't know if Carnage did.
Goblin Child. Childe.
Goblin Child?
Yeah, Normie Osborn.
He bonded with Norman Osborn
No, Normie. Harry's kid.
Oh, Normie. He bonded with him, and I think he made him go crazy, and made Normie think he was Cletus Cassidy, while Cletus Cassidy was in prison.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, and when they were like, "Well, how is Carnage running around? Cletus is in prison." Well, that's obviously not Carnage, but it's something.
Well, it's not Cletus, but it's Carnage.
Right. The very few people have bonded with the Carnage symbiote, but
Yeah, you look up the Venom symbiote, it's going to be a mile-long list.
it's all over the place. That's actually one of the reasons that I thought the Venom Apocalypse comic series, where it was actually Doctor Strange that bonded with the Venom symbiote. He was bringing them all to his universe to fight off the anti-Venoms.
Right.
And they had the anti-Venom's symbiote had evolved and turned into little husks that would go up to Venom carriers, bond to them, eat away at the Venom symbiote and its host, and eventually adapt its personality and thought process, even though it's just a dead husk walking around.
Weird.
And it did that with a few of the heroes, and Doctor Strange kept thinking that it needed to bring in more Venoms to fight it off. And when they finally brought in Eddie Brock Venom, what they had there already was Logan Wolverine,
Right.
X-23,
Sure.
Mary Jane, for some reason,
Weird.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
They had Doctor Strange, who was being pushed around by X-23,
Uh-huh.
and Deadpool, and I believe 2 others.
Okay, so everybody except for Mary Jane and Doctor Strange, you've mentioned, have some sort of a healing factor.
Yes.
Yes, Spider-Man does have some sort of a healing factor. It's
Very
actually,
minor one, but yes.
Well, it's actually considered accelerated recovery.
Yeah, I have that one. I remember. They all bonded to Venom, and they were being brought to this universe as they were fighting these husks that have already taken over a few soldiers for the Venom army that have been fighting for the anti-Venoms, like Scarlet Witch,
Okay.
Rhino, surprisingly.
Weird.
Vulture was in there. They had Captain America was taken over. He was actually in the beginning of one of the other Venoms that was fighting alongside with Eddie Brock as he was brought in, and then he got taken over.
Okay.
Let's see. The funny thing is, the leader of the anti-Venoms that was actually making up all these battle plans and stuff was actually Doctor Doom.
Really?
Yeah. They took Doctor Doom, bonded to a Venom symbiote, turned him into an anti-Venom husk, and he using his knowledge and his battle strategy to take over the entire universe. And they were wanting to capture Doctor Strange Venom to bring in more Venom and more protein for them to eat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Rocket Raccoon was another one that was fighting with the
awesome.
Venoms. It was
I'm sorry. That's just awesome.
it was really cool. They one of the funny turnaround things was or for the Venoms was Deadpool thought about what they were explaining to him and how the anti-venoms worked and how they were just eating the people or eating the Venom symbiote and the person it's bonded to as protein.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised it didn't occur to Logan either, but Deadpool just thought, what if you can heal faster than they can eat? So he went and got taken over by an anti-venom on purpose to become a double agent.
Right.
It was so cool. They used his knowledge of what the anti-venoms, because they all had a hive mind.
Okay.
So Wade was actually still in control of himself and giving the venoms information and fighting against the anti-venoms. Doctor Strange also thought, like, I have enough power in me to bring in one more person I think could give us the turnaround we need to fight back. And the person he brought was Carnage, Guyz Cassidy.
Wow.
He was the first time they had brought in a Carnage into this entire universe.
And how did that go?
The anti-venoms didn't know what it was. They were like, they said numerous times as they saw Carnage fighting around, they're like, we don't know what this is, but we will capture it and study it and eventually eat it. Eventually. Once we figure out how it works.
Right.
It cracked me up because the Cletus Cassidy that they brought in was not Eddie Brock's. So when they brought in Carnage, the first thing he did was attack Eddie Brock Venom, and he's like, Eddie Brock's trying to calm him down. He's like, we need your help. He goes, wait a minute, you're not my dad.
That's awesome.
He's like, you look like him, but you're definitely not mine.
Right.
And it just eventually turned into Rocket turning the entire ship that the anti-venoms came on into a giant bomb to blow away the last portion of the anti-venoms that they could find, and Doctor Strange stayed behind because it was his world, and he did this to all of them, so he felt he needed to make a penance for this. So Deadpool was fighting side by side with Carnage and killing a bunch of people, and Carnage is laughing hysterically. He's like, you mean I get to kill people and I don't get yelled at for it? This is the best day of my life.
I'm surprised Deadpool didn't chime in. Mine too.
Well, Deadpool actually says, like, you know what? Out of all the people I gotta die next to, I'm glad it's you, Cletus.
They really do have a similar mindset.
Kinda. More, but they do have that sense of crazy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, they do connect on that crazy. Venom doesn't go around killing people because he needs to, or just simply wants to. He does it because he's a bounty hunter.
Right. I mean,
there's money
Deadpool?
involved. Deadpool, yeah. What'd I say?
You said Venom.
My bad.
That's okay. Actually, initially, Deadpool was created to be a bad guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right, he was.
So he went around killing indiscriminately.
Yeah. And then he started breaking the fourth wall a lot.
Yeah.
To the point they even created a 7th Infinity Stone for him.
The Deadpool Infinity Stone?
Yeah, they called it the Continuity Gem. It was for a specific story written for Deadpool.
There's a theory that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're going to be bringing in the Continuity Stone.
Oh no. Well, it depends on how that plays out. Because if
you think about it, it would be a really easy way for them to bring in the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, all of the other
the Marvel-owned comics.
Yeah, all of the other properties they didn't own up until, like, what, last year or the year before?
Something like that, yeah.
So
maybe they can finally get a good director for a Fantastic Four movie. We can probably get a decent one. And we can induct Silver Surfer to bring in Galactus, who I think is what they're setting up for.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
They've tried it twice. Don't hold your breath.
That is also true.
It'll be Rian Johnson.
Maybe.
I'm just kidding. Actually, he's not a bad director. The problem that I had with Rian Johnson is whatever that Star Wars movie was.
I don't remember.
The one right between The Force Awakens. No, it was The Force Awakens. The Last Jedi. The one right before The Last Jedi. That he just kind of said, "Oh, I see what you're doing here," with J.J. Abrams, and said, "I see what you're doing here. I don't want to. I'm going to do this."
The Last Jedi?
Was it The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Was the second one?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Funny enough, me and my dad were actually having this conversation. We could never remember the order of those.
Oh, The Rise of Skywalker is
that
the
was
last
the last
one.
one, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I just thought Last Jedi.
Yeah, I always get that confused too. That's what I was talking about, yeah.
Well, my whole thought process is they had a they basically the first three Star Wars
right.
that came out back in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s or whatever. They had a formula. It was good guys win, bad guys win, good guys win again.
Right.
The prequel trilogies was good guys win, bad guys win, good guys win again.
Right.
And let's introduce Darth Vader. And then the sequel trilogies was good guys win, good guys don't lose, good guys win. They kind of messed up the thing.
Yeah, The Last Jedi was really all over the place.
Bunk. I actually heard that there's people out there that have started a petition to have those completely redone.
Well, there's actually, I saw a theory on that someone came up with. It was what if the Mandalorian, the ending of Mandalorian, spoilers for anyone who hasn't actually seen that season finale yet, when they give Grogu over to Luke Skywalker, if that is actually this is actually an alternate universe, that the leading up to the sequels that we have now,
sure,
Grogu was never handed over to Luke, that he was actually kidnapped by the Empire and his blood was used to create Snoke. So if this is actually true, this could lead into possibly better sequels.
You know, the thing about that is, and that right there was my biggest frustration. You've got this dude that's supposed to be just awesome.
Yeah.
And then it's nothing. Snoke was just nothing.
Right.
And it's like, who was he? And it never really explained it. But yeah, I mean, that theory sounds good because honestly, if you think about it, he does kind of look like a cross between a Yoda and the Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine, with a big chunk taken out of his head.
They are apparently promoting a Rock as a co-pilot in the upcoming films.
What?
A Rock as a co-pilot?
A Rock or The Rock?
If it's The Rock, that'd be a great Star Wars movie.
You know that there are the Star Wars movies are huge. I mean, let's face it. The Star Wars movies
It's a
are
sentient
huge.
rock.
Neat. That makes a lot of sense. So anyway, did you know that there are actually famous actors that will go into Star Wars movies and they are fine with playing a stormtrooper that dies?
Yeah. A lot of the people in the sequels were cameos that never were announced or revealed who they were, but their voices you could tell.
Mm-hmm. Well, the stormtrooper that had Rey, and when she used her force powers on him to let her go, and I think he died. I don't remember.
I don't know if he died. I remember him walking out, but I don't.
Yeah, that's the most recent James Bond. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either, but I do remember that. Yeah.
But apparently they designated him, and it's his designation number was literally never said, but he said his designation was 007.
That's awesome.
Isn't it?
They, I know they've done that a few times. Like even with Deadpool, they had the Deadpool movies. They had very surprising cameos.
Oh yeah, like the Vanisher.
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. Yeah. Terry Crews.
Only just to be in the movie for what, 10 minutes?
He wasn't even in the movie for 10 minutes. He was in the movie for like half a second.
Yeah,
because honestly,
Brad Pitt, yeah, but I'm like also Terry Crews was in there for a few minutes.
Yeah,
only to just die right there on the X-Force drop.
The dude that plays the new It was in it.
Oh yeah,
Skarsgård.
Yeah.
He was the vomit guy.
Oh, that's right, he was.
He was gross.
Yeah, but if you can vomit up acid, I mean...
Still gross.
Good on you for wanting to be a hero.
Still gross.
It's still gross.
Yeah.
But good on you for wanting to be a hero. Do you imagine the amount of banks you could break into using that power?
Yeah.
ATMs you could melt open?
You know, we talk about superheroes, we talk about supervillains and everything else.
Yes.
I honestly still think that the single best superhero movie was Mystery Men.
Mystery Man?
You don't remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
It had Ben Stiller and Janine Garofalo. She was the bowler. They were just... had Pee Wee Herman in there as the spleen. His superpower was deadly gas.
Oh, that movie.
Yes.
I do remember this movie. Oh, yeah. My dad was watching it downstairs, and I was like, what is this? And I watched
best superhero movie ever.
I love the I forget her name in the movie, but the girl who has the bowling ball with the bowler with
the bowler.
Yeah, with her dad's skull in it.
Yeah,
it can control it. That was so great.
Yeah.
I do love they actually used All Star for a music video for that movie.
Right. Well, then there was the scientist that made the non-lethal weapons.
Oh yeah,
like the shrink ray, right. But it shrinks your clothes.
So
Ben Stiller, my clothes are getting tight too.
It just reminds me of the Harley Quinn bit in one of the episodes.
Yeah,
it's like shoots like that didn't do anything to me. What did that do? I have no idea. Oh my God, Rick, I'm so sorry. It's a cancer ray. Harley Quinn gave me cancer? Who makes this stuff? That stuff like that is always hilarious to me.
Yeah. It almost seems like they have like all of the comic book creators have a specific style. Like,
right.
Okay, you want crazy? Red and black. Or I'm sorry, black and red and red and black.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy has red and black.
Yeah, they.
You want genius level insanity? Purple and green.
Yeah, a lot of the genius and insane geniuses were decked out in green and
purple.
Purple, yeah. Dr. Doom mostly decked out in green, but a few purple here and there. Mm-hmm. Trying to think of anyone else that's been... He was the first one that popped in my head, but I can't think of anyone else that's been purple and green.
Joker, Lex Luthor.
Thank you. Well...
I mean, I can go on.
Yeah. You can. I sure can't. I blanked.
But, again, we started talking about Cletus Cassidy or Carnage.
Right.
Red and black.
Basic level, insane serial killer.
Yeah. Deadpool. Red and black. Harley Quinn. Red and black.
Depending.
It's always red and black.
Now it's red and blue.
Her suit.
Suit's red and black, yes.
Deadpool's not red and black. His suit is.
Yeah, that's true.
And he doesn't have hair.
Well, not anymore. He did.
I mean, prove it. Pictures or it didn't happen.
I got nothing. All right, you win this round.
It's not an argument. Although it is. Oh, no, I'm not wearing red and black. Sorry. Can't be crazy today.
I'm just wearing white and black.
So, Carnage.
Ha!
What?
Chris has my back. Is Wade Wilson with hair.
Yeah, I don't buy it. It's actually pretty funny.
The proof is right there.
I still don't buy it. Anyway, there's actually a comic book that a Deadpool comic book where, and this was before Ryan Reynolds ever actually became Deadpool.
Right.
He honestly said that he used to look like a cross between Ryan Reynolds and something else. And now he says he looks like a cross between Ryan Reynolds and a Shar-Pei or something. I don't even remember exactly what it is, but
something like that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite comic book entries to that about people's looks or Deadpool describing people was when Spider-Man and Deadpool were fighting a villain. I forget who it was specifically, and they're like, "Who are you?" And he took his mask off, and it showed half his face. It was kind of like Deadpool with all just the completely distorted skin with bright blue eyes, and you still don't get it,
right?
And everyone and Deadpool and Spider-Man just start firing off with these guesses. They're like, Deadpool's left butt cheek sentient, come back from the future. That at one point Spider-Man's like, every before picture merged into one and come back to kill us. Someone's like, dang, I thought Spider-Man didn't kill people.
No, it wasn't Spider-Man.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What?
Says, so what you're saying is that Deadpool is the one that chose Ryan Reynolds to play Deadpool. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds is the one, or Deadpool is the one that chose Ryan Reynolds to play Deadpool.
Absolutely. Ryan Reynolds was definitely meant for that part. Every movie he's ever been in before that led up to that moment. It's the whole reason Ryan Reynolds has been waiting for that part for so long, he stole a suit.
So, actually, you want to know something really interesting? Ryan Reynolds is the same age when he picked up the red and black suit for Deadpool. He is the same age as Wade Wilson was, supposedly, when he actually got his powers.
When he joined the Weapon X program?
Yes.
Wow.
Ryan Reynolds' middle name starts with an R. Wade, and then there's Wade Winston Wilson. They're both Canadian.
Yeah.
So there was this huge thing about why Ryan Reynolds is the perfect Deadpool.
All the pieces fit together.
It really did. I don't think Ryan Reynolds is the perfect Deadpool. I think that the creator of Deadpool had Ryan Reynolds in mind when he created Deadpool.
Right, probably.
Or Ryan Reynolds went back in time as Deadpool and convinced the person who created Deadpool to create Deadpool.
Well, he did go back in time and shoot Ryan Reynolds before he was able to join the script for Green Lantern.
Yes, and he never
managed
happened to kill that baby Hitler.
He couldn't do it.
He couldn't
do it.
Which is good. Ish.
Now,
he could have gone and slaughtered a teenager.
Might have been a bit easier.
Have you ever met a teenager?
I used to be a teenager.
I think it would have been a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, it would have been more justified too. Teenagers are jerks.
Yeah. Look at all that sass.
That's true. Yeah. Teenagers are full of sass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not full of sass, am I? Then again,
are you still a teenager?
No, I'm not still a teenager.
No,
but
you clearly have lost your sass.
At some point, probably.
I, on the other hand, am still full of sass.
Sassmaster 2000.
I have no idea what he just said.
Sassmaster 2000. Or 6000. It was one of those two.
Oh, okay.
So, I actually do enjoy Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Everything that he improvs into those movies screams what Deadpool would normally do in comic books.
I
to me.
honestly think that I can I can literally only think of one movie that I did not actually enjoy somewhat that Ryan Reynolds was in.
Which one?
No, it wasn't Green Lantern.
Which was it?
I don't even remember the name of the movie, but it was a Netflix original. 13 Below or something.
13 Below. I'm thinking of 8 Below, but that's a totally different movie with Paul Walker.
I don't know. He basically hired these people to kill somebody or put this group of people together to kill somebody. It was
Oh, I know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember the name either, but
it was basically
Six Underground.
6 Underground.
yeah, Six Underground. It was honestly it was basically a retelling of the Quentin Tarantino movie Mr. Pink
Watch Dogs? No, that's not it. You said Mr. Pink. That's immediately what I thought of.
Reservoir Dogs.
Thank you. What did I say the first time? Watch Dogs?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a
the
video
video
game.
game, yes.
That's a video game about hackers. Not even close. Reservoir Dogs is what I meant.
Yeah. It was a lot like The Losers as well, except The Losers was really good and it was based off of a comic book.
Yeah. I do like those.
Which, by the way, that's like the 7th comic book movie that Chris Evans was in.
Yeah.
Chris Evans is in like a lot of comic book movies.
He was in the original Fantastic Four,
Mm-hmm.
The Losers,
Mm-hmm.
the Captain America movies, and
Sure.
all that crap going on.
Push. But believe it or not, that's a superhero.
Yeah. I want to say he was in another one, but I can't think of what it was off the top of my head.
He was also in Tug and Pull. So that's 2 more.
Are you sure those are movies?
No, they're not. It was a joke. It was a terrible joke on Chris. The movie. The name of the movie Push. So not Chris Evans. Like Chris Evans, I think he's a great actor. In case he's listening.
He was Casey Jones in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes, he was. He was a voice actor.
Voice actor, yeah, for the
TMNT
movie. I don't remember that movie very well. I'm surprised I don't remember that.
What?
Lucas Lee too from Scott Pilgrim. I don't remember the movie TMNT. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no,
completely ignore
that's
your question.
fine. Which again, another comic book movie.
Yeah. French comic book. That's in French, Chris. I'm not reading that.
That's what it.
Oh, Snowpiercer.
Yeah, that's right. He
didn't
was
see
in
the bit
that
at the
too.
bottom.
And he's apparently been. I don't know if he's contracted yet, but he's been looked at for another comic book too. And I don't know what it is. I just saw that he had been.
From what I understand, Chris Evans, it's not that he doesn't want to be Captain America anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be anymore since Captain America was turned old at the end of Endgame. But
because they're not having a movie called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Right. He honestly wanted to be known as something other than just Captain America. But he kind of cemented himself in that legacy for the comic book movies.
Now.
But,
do you know what Chris Evans' dad does for a living?
no, I do not.
He's a dentist.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I think I actually did know that. I think that was posted on a...
Yeah, I read a thing on it where this girl had actually gone to her dentist.
Yeah.
And saw a picture, she was talking about getting ready to go see the Captain America movie or one of the Avengers movies.
Yeah. That.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, she was getting ready to go see one of the Captain America movies, and the dentist says, "Oh yeah, my son's in that." Just super nonchalant.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, dropped it on her.
Yeah. Really? What is he in? Is he an extra? No, he plays Captain America.
And then she realized
Yeah,
that their dentist
the
last name was
dentist's
Evans.
last name was Evans. Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool. So what if Steve Rogers became Spider-Man?
There have been a lot of what if scenarios like that of combining superheroes. If Steve Rogers became well, hang on, is he keeping his Captain America powers and strategy, or is he just Spider-Man?
I don't think it'll really matter. I mean,
I
he'll
don't
probably still have the strategy considering the time he was born.
Right.
And that he was really into, he really wanted to join the military.
Right.
But the powers, honestly, Spider-Man is stronger than Captain America.
Yeah.
And faster and a lot more agile.
Right. Peter Parker even came up with his own martial art for the whole thing, and that was the Way of the Spider, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
I've seen other what if scenarios in comic books of like what if Peter Parker was also the Punisher.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of, Disney Plus is going to be releasing it's an animated series, and Chris Evans is going to be voicing Captain America.
Right.
It's just going to be called What If.
That's what I was posting about.
Yeah.
That was their first one. Was what if Captain America was?
Oh, that's the first episode?
Is it already out?
No, that's what they're working on now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So for the people that didn't actually hear, that's what they're working on now. What if Steve Rogers became Spider-Man?
That would be very interesting. There was I've seen the trailer for that, and there was another one what if oh dear God, what is her name?
I don't know.
Her love interest for Captain America.
Peggy.
Thank you. What if Peggy was the super soldier instead? It just the idea of it was really cool. There's a few other episodes that they're coming up with.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, we're not repeating that on here.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, I mean there have been a lot of really good what if comics back in the day, like what if Storm picked up Thor's hammer?
Yep. There was actually another thing I saw that was interesting about Spider-Man technically could, if Peter Parker could get over that tendency to want to, to kill people, he could actually pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a really interesting theory. And then I saw that what if series about what if Peter Parker was also the Punisher and Spider-Man. I'm like, he could pick up Mjolnir.
Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have been at this for an hour, talking to you guys, just chewing your ears off.
So we are going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of the Comic Book Guys. Thank you, Jeff, for joining me today.
Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure. So if you guys like the episode, remember to like, favorite, subscribe, ring that bell for all the notifications that you need for Geek Public Radio and all of their shows that pop up as well. Don't forget to check out those other shows, Sunday Night Madness and Criminal Fix
GPR.
and GPR. Thank you, Chris. I feel so bad. I always forget that one. I'm just joking. Don't hurt me. He's nodding his head. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will catch you guys on the next episode.
Later.
See ya.